Hello, Lost in the Downs tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Lord of the Rings for the Super Nintendo with me, BlueAnkylo, and the live stream. For the beginning of this episode, and to catch people up a little bit, because we have spent a very long time in the Barrow Downs, I'm going to spend a minute showing you kind of where we are in the grand scheme of things. So this is Area 29, this is the next, well, this is the area we just walked into, so we're, right by the opening spot. And you can see the good thing about this map is that most of the caves are going to be small caves with just an item in them. And then we'll head over this way and, we'll keep going through This should look familiar for the next couple maps. In the grand scheme of things, we've traveled a long way through a lot of caves, a lot of areas. But I think we are, I would say, around 3/4 done, so I'm keeping an eye on things, I'm making sure we're not missing anything too important, and that's all you need to know, basically. If you're playing along, I highly recommend following a map or something, because, oh boy. Anyway, that's all. Let's keep going. I guess we could do a very quick recap for our characters. We still have the 4 hobbits only. Samwise Gamgee, level 10, with a barrow dagger and some leather armor. We got Merry Brandybuck, level 9, dagger, leather armor. We got Frodo Baggins, level 12, barrow dagger, chainmail. He's got the best gear. It always goes to him first, and then Sam second. And then finally, we have Pippin Took, dagger, leather armor. I'm not sure which one of Merry and Pippin gets 3rd place for weapon priority, but one of them anyway. So yeah, I feel like we've done a little bit of level grinding. We've kept them fairly strong so that we're not dying in combat. I've been trying to make sure we get all the gems as best as I can, and I don't think I've missed any key items yet, but it is very easy to miss out on key items, so if you're playing along, boy, try not to miss any of those, basically. Alright, so another map that we've basically seen before. This layout for Area 29 is not unique, which is unfortunate, and because of that, it's another sort of repetition. If there's a reason to say the game is not that good, it's probably because of the repetitive maps. Some gold. On the plus side, our, the game auto-equips. It goes, when you pick up a weapon, it'll try to equip it to Frodo if it's better than what he's currently got. And if it equips it, then it takes his second item and passes it down to Sam. Or if he doesn't equip it, it just passes the original item down to Sam. And then whoever's 3rd and 4th after that. It's just a fairly simple priority system. Happy little mushroom. We're going to be throwing some super speeds in just to save on loading time, basically. Some of the transitions are just starting to bog me down a little bit. Ooh. We got ourselves a orc ambush, sort of. So, that's going to be some chainmail, and you might be like, I would like to put that on Pippin. But you can't pick it up, in case... people were asking about this, but yeah. The only people that can pick it up is Frodo. So Frodo picks it up. He already has chain armor, so he hands it down probably to Sam. And then Sam has leather armor, which no one else needs, so they throw it away. Yeah, so that's the priority system. The next chain armor will go to either Pippin or Merry. It's a little bit unfortunate that you can't micromanage your armor, but it doesn't make that big of a difference in the grand scheme of things. You probably want Frodo armored better anyway, because if he dies, it's game over. If Merry or Pippin die, it actually doesn't, like, it's permadeath, but you don't really need them. They're sort of just optional characters. Sorry, Merry and Pippin, but you're not needed. So this is a very generous map area. It's almost like they're setting us up for a boss, but I don't think they are. I know if you're doing like a speed run, like you don't even recruit Merry or Pippin, you just ignore them basically. And then you just let them die if they do get joined up. Probably just some gold. I almost wish I knew exactly how much gold I needed, because eventually we'll get to Bree, I guess, is where we're sort of headed right now. For whatever reason. There needs to be a town at some point. And there is something you can buy in there, I believe. But I forget how much gold it costs. I have a feeling if we have around 200 gold, we'll have enough, but it's been so long, I don't remember the exact amount. But we are being quite thorough here. You know, we're not grinding the same gold piles over and over again, but we are not really missing any either. So yeah, this is the big horizontal area. There's actually quite a few dead-end caves with literally nothing in them, which is kind of annoying, but like, as far as the map is concerned, this is just a nothing cave. Nothing but orcs. Alright. But, you know, I kind of like being thorough. I think, you know, we were talking about how long the game would take. It would also take a lot less time if I sort of beelined to the exit quicker rather than showing off most of the areas. But I feel like that's sort of fair. I kind of decided my compromise was I was going to use the map to make sure I didn't miss anything, but I wasn't going to use the map to skip 50% of the game, which you easily could do, because I feel like that would be the kind of cheating point where you're like, well, I'm not going to explore, and I'm just going to skip all the extra combat and travel time. I don't know. That's just the way my head went anyway. To be fair, this area we're in right now is fairly linear. Most of these caves are just dead ends that give you a little bit of treasure, so you could clear this area out without really any complication. The wraiths are definitely getting stronger, not dying in a single hit anymore. Actually, I wonder if it's possible that they take less damage from a barrow dagger. It's possible. Like, I don't know if the game is that complicated, but half of the party does have barrow daggers right now, which are stronger, like they have more strength, but they might be kind of less effective against wights. So they kill the orcs really well, but maybe not so much the ghosts. And we're just going to ignore the bats for the most part. Hey, that's the key we needed. How do I think of stuff to talk about the entire video? It's just sort of practice. I mean, a lot of it is just like my style, my preferred style is commentating on the game. So if you can get past, oh, now we're turning right, oh, now we're stabbing our weapon. If you can talk a little bit abstractly about what is going on, the story, maybe meta gameplay decisions, that fills up a lot of the time. If personal anecdotes, like for me when I'm playing, a lot of times I'm picking games that I played as a kid, so there's things to talk about from my old memory. Hey Ori. It's yeah, this game is rough. I wonder if there was a Nintendo Power episode or magazine that actually had the full map, because you needed the map. Like, the map is like mandatory for this game. But yeah, I don't know, like if you're trying to be a Let's Player or something, a lot of it is just practice. Just getting used to talking about stuff while you're playing along. So it looks like Merry is our number 3 hobbit. Like, he got the barrow dagger before Pippin, so Pippin is the weakest link of the group. So the next time we find chainmail, it'll probably go to Mary. But at this point, we've got enough equipment that it's not that big of a deal anyway. But because it won't be too long, and Frodo will get a better weapon, and he can hand down his barrow dagger to whichever person needs it. Alright, and that's it for this zone. Really, all it was a bunch of empty caves with weapons and armor. Yeah, the music in this game's good. I've talked about it before, but I really like the style. Like, the graphics and audio, the background music is quite fitting. Okay, so this is Area 30. Burned down houses. There's not a whole lot to do here. A couple caves to look at, and then we needed a key to open up the path to the next area. So we might be getting to the end here where we're just sort of on a linear path to escaping the Barrow Downs, which would be quite nice. And yeah, some of these are just going to be empty, so we'll just speed right through them. Come on, hobbits. There you go. Can't always trust the AI to get the kills. Very important to get all these little minor gold caves out of the way. It's like one piece of gold. Oh. Combat time. I did have a theory about the wights that you could hit them when they were invisible. So, like, if you hit them once and they kind of, you know, turn invisible and back off, there might be a way to hit them again before they reappear. What do I like about Three Houses? Might be the best Fire Emblem game in the series. I think I might say that. So what specifically do I like about it? There's so many quality of life improvements. It's a lot easier to play. You don't have to do a lot of math. Like, if you're following along with, like, the Fire Emblem 4 Let's Play, or if you've just played any of the older ones, there's a lot of calculations you have to do in your head, because the game doesn't do it for you. Which I know some people like, but it's not as accessible. I like being able to just sit down and play without having to take out a calculator, or really be good at mental math. Which, you know, I'm generally pretty good at, but not, like, I think it cuts off a lot of the player base, because I know a lot of people struggle with that kind of stuff. And so that's great. It's got those target lines for who the enemies will attack. Those are new, very nice. The enemy movement ranges update better. There's just a lot of, like, quality of life, graphic user interface improvements that are really, really top of the line. What else is there? Let's see. I'm not a huge fan that they took out the weapon triangle, the sword axe, lance triangle. I liked it, but they took it out. But it's not the end of the world. They kind of rebalanced the game a little bit differently based on weight. So there's no constitution to decrease weapon weight the way we used to get in the Game Boy Advance games, the GameCube games, the Wii games, the DS games, where you had constitution, which counteracted a fair amount of your weapon weight, and it became kind of a primary stat for a lot of your characters, so heavy axe guys could wield the axes without losing a lot of speed. They changed that to strength divided by 5 plus some skills. It's okay, but it sort of makes it so that axes are just not very good early game because they give you low attack speed, and then later on they're fine, but early on it's generally swords and slim lances. Again, like, there's some things about it that aren't perfect. What am I looking for? There's a... Oh, is this one of those random rocks I have to click on? Great. This is the kind of stuff I always got... Yeah, this is the kind of one that stumped me as a kid all the time. Sure, if you walk towards it, Sam tells you, but otherwise it doesn't look like anything. Other than that, what's good about Three Houses? I think the story's good. It's probably got one of the better stories in the series. I don't know if it's the best story in the series, but definitely top 3 or top 5. Somewhere up there anyway. I'd say top 3 probably for sure. It might not beat Path of Radiance or Fire Emblem 4, but it's up there. What else? Or Thracia, I don't know. It's up there. Let's see. What else is good about Three Houses? It's got probably better replayability than most of them. The different house routes are pretty, I wouldn't say unique, but you get like a different default starting roster, and the characters are probably more developed than your average Fire Emblem game, where typically, I have to load up my map here again. Typically, sword guys and myrmidons are all replaceable, and they generally have a very sort of what I call it, tropey kind of personality, like your Rutgers and all your other I forget all their names, but they're all like, all the Myrmidon swordmasters are emo murderers, and all the mercenaries are tough jock mercenary guys that are awesome and strong. It's like a lot of the older Game Boy, a lot of the older Fire Emblem games have kind of stereotyped classes, so your characters all kind of fit into the same kind of roster. Not all of them, but I feel like that was pretty common. I feel like generally Three Houses did a better job of making your characters feel like they had a bit of a story. Maybe that's just me, though. I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's fun. Like, the game plays... I think the game plays quicker because of the quality of life improvements, so you spend less time doing math and planning and all that. The fact that you can repair weapons and stuff is really nice. You don't have to worry about hoarding your silver weapons till the end of the game. You can just, you know, use them, as crazy as that sounds, and then spend a bit of gold to repair them, basically, which I find is quite nice. The reclassing is... I'm not 100% sold on the fact that the change to the promotion system, I'm not 100% on board with. I think they still kind of messed up the masterclass. Like, the rankings of some of the promotions, I think, is a little bit messy. But overall, I like the system. I just think they front-loaded, or they, not front-loaded, but they put too much emphasis on the master classes being mounted, and mounted mages and flying units basically rule the end of the game, so they probably could have rebalanced some of that a little better. Like, it's definitely not a perfect game, but it's a lot of fun. I have to try out the recently added Maddening Mode, I believe they call it. Essentially Lunatic Mode from the other games, the harder... Because the game by default is pretty easy, I found anyway. So I was quite interested in what the actually hard mode is going to be like. I missed some chainmail. Dang it! I went the direction that leads me out of the cave and forward for progression, which is great, but there's some chainmail that I missed, so I'm gonna go back. I mean, I'm not 100% sure if Fire Emblem will go down in history as the best Fire Emblem game ever, but it's got to be up there. Like, it's a lot better than average, and I think it's a good step in the right direction. It also makes... I don't know, I don't think it's been announced or anything, but it makes it seem pretty likely that Fire Emblem 4 and 5 are going to be the next remakes, or the next, what do they call them, Echoes games, where they remaster them, remake them, or whatever, because Genealogy of the Holy War and Three Houses have a fair bit in common. If you're watching the Let's Play, you might notice some fairly similar, some commonalities between the crest system and the bloodline system, and just horses being overpowered and having super canto and everything. Yeah, I've heard Maddening Mode is pretty hard. I don't know if that's because people got used to Three Houses hard mode, which is actually really easy, and like, in my opinion, compared to the older Fire Emblem games, Three Houses hard is like easy. If you've ever played, sheesh, any of the not easy ones, like Sacred Stones is really easy, and there's a couple that are just generally not very hard. But if you played like Dawn of Radiance, the sequel to Path of Radiance, and Fire Emblem 4 or 5, or even 6, 7, like Hector hard mode, stuff like that, I think you would find that Three Houses is way easier by default than those. even on supposedly hard mode. But yeah, Maddening Mode, I have a feeling, is more like the old school difficulty. We'll go pick up some more moss before we get out of here, and then we'll get out of here. Now, as far as the game we're playing, we did just pick up some chainmail, a little bit better armor for, I assume it went to Merry again. Pippin does not, he's like the last person to get chain armor. But if I remember correctly, there are 4 barrow daggers and 4 chain armors in this area, so by the time we get out of here, everyone will be fully equipped, I think. Thanks to having a map. And I mean, you can also see most of the enemies are only doing 1 damage per hit. We're pretty strong right now. Like, although some of my hobbits don't have a lot of HP, at 1 damage per hit, we're okay. It'll be the new enemies in the next area that are going to be scary with trolls and stuff. Yeah, Hector hard mode, I have a feeling that will be closer to Three Houses Maddening Mode, basically. Except Three Houses still has the time warp backtracking thing, which still makes it a lot easier just because of that. Okay, so that was the exit. We are almost free. This is area 31, and I think we're just about done. Yeah, Hobbit's getting strong. Yeah, we're actually, this is the last area in the Barrow Downs. Next area is finally we're free. So that'll be nice. So better get as much gold as we can, because our time is up. I just wish you could run. I guess I am running. We've got a run button. I've in case people are curious, I've got what I typically do with the fast forward button is I put the toggle on my R2 trigger. So R1 is your normal Super Nintendo R button, and then R2, thanks to modern gamepads having a million buttons, can do stuff like that. Makes it very nice. I used to put like save and load on those buttons, but that just caused more problems than it helped. How many games were lost by saving over top of a save at the menu screen or something, or loading when I meant to save. So this area is kind of just open wide. There's really not much here. I guess it's just kind of one last combat zone or something. I don't know. Thanks, team. Just letting my hobbits get some kills, you know. And then because they're hungry, we haven't had second dinner in so long. We'll find them some more mushrooms. 1 mushroom for 4 hobbits. I'm sure they're not happy. I've been meaning to Let's Play Hector mode for Fire Emblem 7 for a while now. Now that I think about it. And that's been on the docket for a long time. Oh, look, a door! First, we'll check the cave. And then, hopefully, we have the right key for the door. And then we're out of here. Everyone remembers the part in the Lord of the Rings book where you needed a barrow key to escape the Barrow Downs. That's exactly how that worked. There was no summoning of Tom Bombadil to help us escape or anything. Good job, team. We need a key. Thanks, Sam. You're so helpful. So we got Sam probably getting pretty close to a level up. Well, right now I'm using a Switch controller, technically. I forget the name of it. It's not the official Pro controller, it's the wired whatever one. I generally use the Logitech gamepad, which is essentially the same as the PlayStation ones nowadays, but I never really liked the Xbox controllers, so I sort of stuck with PC/PlayStation style. But I never bought a PlayStation, so I've always just used... What am I doing? I've just used generic for the most part. Key to Bree and Tome Key. Hey, the door to the field is open. Not like you could just crawl over it or something. You know, it's just a door in the middle of a field. Alright. Looking for someone? For a price, I can give you some information. I'm not giving him any gold. Alright, so funnily enough, my favorite word, if we were to go left, we would go... We'll just save it. I don't actually know if we'll get killed by the ring race again. But this just takes us straight back to the Shire. Like, it's hilarious. All that travel through the forest and the Barrow Downs is one screen here. Yeah, this is all it is. Like, right here, and you're like, hey, home sweet home, we're done. The entire game so far has taken us 2 screens. It's disgusting. But, you know, crossing that bridge earlier on, we would have been killed by ringwraiths. So we had to go the long way. And now the ringwraiths are gone, so we can just go this way now. It's great. So finally, we can go to Bree. I think. Pardon me. Still some coughs. There's danger near. I can't open the gate. Too bad for you, I've got a key. This is how the books went too, I believe. They had a really hard time getting into Bree, so they found a key somewhere else and just opened the door. I see you have a key to the gate. You must be a friend. I'll let you in if you can prove you know someone. A letter or something? Uh-oh. We know Gandalf. I actually don't know if this will work. I forget what the key item is here. It's a friend of Gandalf, of course. Speak Gandalf to enter. It's always something like that. Alright, welcome to Bree, everybody. It's not really very impressive, but it's a town. It's the town. Someone stole my ring. If you find it, I'll give you a reward. I have no idea where it is. Side quests. It's a keystone. Oh, that's the last keystone. So we have to find a jeweled ring. I don't suppose we happen to pick one up already. I think it's on the way to Rivendell, if I remember correctly. Like, we have a ring, but it's the wrong ring. We can't give this one away. Although that would be a funny change, just to give a random girl the one ring. Oh. Looks like Gaffer, but I don't think it is. The book you found tells how to use gateway gems. Give it to a wizard, he'll know what to do. I don't know how he can read our Elvish book either. You look like some warriors. For some gold, I'll give you some better armor. So, I don't know how much gold this is going to cost us. Actually, I can probably just look. So, Armor Master. Pay 45 gold to get everyone chainmail. Which is kind of funny because only one person needs. Is Moria better or worse than the Barrows? Much, much, much worse. Like, 10 times worse. Not even trying to exaggerate. 10 times worse. So, we can spend 45 gold to get Pippin some armor. I don't think there's anything else to spend the money on, really, so we'll do that. Or there's no reason to hold on to the money, basically. Oh, so, of course, spending money means we actually have to do it the old school way. We have to pick up some gold pieces. And then give him some gold pieces. Here you go! Chain armor for everybody! And it cost us 45. Yeah, the music's nice. I like that. I have a letter that needs to go to Elrond. They shouldn't even know Aragorn's name. Like, it's Strider, guys. Strider. You can't go around telling everyone his real name. You look tired. Here, have some fruit. Thanks. And then there's this suspicious door back here that used to drive me bonkers. This gate hasn't opened in years. I don't think it can be opened. Then why did you put a gate here? You can't open the gate ever. It's just there. Hello, fellas. Have a nice day. Yeah, like, this is, like, literally nothing. It's like the well in Final Fantasy 1 on the NES. It's suspicious. It makes you think you could do something, but no. You look like warriors. For some gold, I'll give you some better daggers. Now, I'm not sure if this is a lie. I'm gonna double check. So barrow daggers are 14 strength. Here, have some troll daggers. I'll take 45 of your gold. And... okay, they're way stronger. Oh boy. I forgot that the barrow daggers were made redundant seconds after leaving the barrow downs. That's kind of weird, because I thought in the book, like, the barrow daggers were like pretty powerful. Like, they're pretty special. Anyway, we got troll daggers, we got chainmail, we're fully geared up. That's something. And there's just one more house, or a couple more houses. If you go to the troll shaws, you'll find much treasure. You'll also find trolls. And that's why we've been leveling up so much. Hey, there you go, Strider. You can call me Strider. I spoke with Gandalf, and I might help you. But first, you must prove your worth by finding some king's foil. I don't even know what that is. I've heard that it's just another name for the herb Athelas. Athelas can be found by water. There's water so all over everywhere. Anyway, that's... we have to go get some king's foil to heal ourselves. Because Strider knows we'll need it. Thanks. Fortunately, it's not very far away. Uh, 32... 33... yeah, okay. I know where I'm going. I'm just double checking my map. It's not that far. I spent a lot of time wandering around this area because there was water here when I first played it. And I was thinking, there's water here. How far are they going to make me go? And then, like, this area is a new area. Welcome to the Troll Shaws. Let's put a save down in case we get killed by a troll. Yeah, you got to go through this area. I wonder if the troll dagger is strong versus trolls. To be fair, given the name, the common usage of the word troll, it probably does nothing. It says 18 damage, but it actually does 0 damage, and we just wasted 45 gold, and now our weapons are garbage, and never gonna give you up plays every time we swing. Anyway, so far it's just orcs, and wolves. You know, why not? It's been a while since we've seen wolves. I like the trees. I like the happy music. It's actually... I like this area a lot more than the Barrow Downs. It's not nearly as mazy, and it's just so much happier. So much happier. Anyway, this is as far as we actually need to walk. This is why it's not that bad of a side quest. See, it's by a big lake or river or something. I don't know. I don't actually have a map of Middle-earth printed out beside my computer like a true nerd. True Lord of the Rings nerd, but there you go. Athelas. We found some weed inside a bag by the river. The police were watching, so Strider asked us to go pick up his bag of weed. I mean, the hobbits are kind of known for their herb, actually. It's part of the story. Okay, fortunately, this map is pretty straightforward. There's really nothing to do on Area 32 there. It does change the entire narrative. The way they change the quests up here, especially once you talk to Gandalf and Elrond, really frustrated me as a kid. I'm like, why would these guys not help you without getting all these gems first? Like, this is so dumb. Alright, let's go find them in the middle. Hello, fellas! They like to use the fellas a lot in this game. That must have been one of Tolkien's favorite words. Alright, so... Atheles Minor. You've done well, my little hobbit friends. My real name is Aragorn, and I will lead your party to meet the Council of Elrond at Rivendell. When you are ready to leave Bree, I'll meet you outside the city. So there's still nothing else we can do in here. We have to go recruit him. But remember, we need a jeweled ring for a gemstone, and we need to come back with Elrond, or with Aragorn to pick up a letter for Elrond. I'm glad they make us leave to do that. Hey! Guess what? We're a man. We're a real man now. Now our main character is Elrond, or Aragorn. So forget running around as Frodo. This is the best part in the game. Suddenly, you're old and tall, and you got a real sword. Now, he starts with pretty weak weapons overall, but it's still better than the Hobbits. So I was like really hyped when I got Aragorn the first time. I think his attack range is a bit longer. I think. Let's go pick up that letter and then we'll get going. So now all the hobbits are on AI controlled, even Frodo. We can control Frodo the same as the rest now, basically. Oh, look, there's an elf. Jawanga. He knows too much. Kill him. Basically, if they have a bow, they're an elf. It's the rule. Ah, I see Aragorn has joined you. This letter is for Elrond. It's very important. Alright, I think that's all I need to do in Bree. Let me just double check. We did the armors, we did the weapons. We got Strider. We need to get a jeweled ring and come back. And that's it. Okay. So now we're going to head... to... There's a lot of places, there's a lot of troll shaws to go to now. You pick up a bow and suddenly you're an elf, that's right. There were a lot of games in this era where anybody that had a bow was an elf. Like, there was just, humans weren't allowed to use bows. If you had a bow, you were a ranged unit, you were an elf. It's just the rule. In case I haven't mentioned it in a while, yes, still a little bit sick, recovering. I think I made a mistake here. Yep. You missed the level of Strider. I think he starts at 15. Yeah. That's why he's got so much HP. His actual sword and armor aren't amazing compared to the Hobbit's weapons right now, but level 15 is pretty good. And I think his weapon has a much better hitbox, so playing as him is just so much easier. Like, his vertical attacks, I think, are just... I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just nostalging all over the place, but I feel like he's just easier to hit stuff with. Alright, so this is the dark rivery area. We're gonna go... Let's see, there's two directions. There's a bridge that we could only cross if we had Aragorn, and then another way that you could go without Aragorn. So I think we'll see this one first. This is the door to the Troll Shaws. Oh, Legolas the elf has the key, but he has locked himself in. So we're not going that way right now. Are we? No, this is the way you need Aragorn. Why can't I get through? I just cut the... I have to get through this. Oops. I just wasted my Atheles. Hey, Alter Ego. It's got its ups and downs. I actually don't know how to get up there. Maybe we have to come back later. Maybe... So that's the Troll Shaw is technically up there. And I'm assuming we need a key, so maybe my map is not helping me very much here. We'll cross the bridge for now. Although I just used my Athalas, so let's get another one. All the healing items in case it's an emergency. Alright. So nice to not be playing as a hobbit. Hey, Deciduous Pixel. Alright, we're gonna put another save in. I recall fighting trolls somewhere around here. Maybe not this area specifically, but in this texture, in this tile area, whatever you want to call it, and having people die all the time. So, look forward to that. Oh, I think I took the wrong route. We'll just explore the southern route first. I don't know who made all these hedge mazes. They're jerks. Oops, that was the wrong button. But yeah, we got dead-ended. So, I do have a map, and I will generally just follow the map. These mazes aren't as bad as the cave mazes, so you could certainly do them without a map, but in the spirit of saving a little bit of time for the stream and the Let's Play, I will generally keep an eye on the route we need to go. The Game Boy Advanced Lord of the Rings game, I believe, was called The Hobbits, I think, and just followed... Like, it was just a single one, right? You just followed, like, there was no party. It was just one person, I think. I didn't play that one very much, so I don't really remember. Oh, yeah, I remember this rock. Suspicious rock? Isn't it? I thought I could open the rock. There it is. You just have to hit it from the right angle. What's inside Suspicious rock? This is one I actually did remember from ages ago. I forget what's in it, but I remember smacking the rock. Okay, we got poisonous snakes. Great. The head mage, yeah, we're actually not in the troll shaws yet, but I guess it might be like the elf hedge maze, or I don't know what they call it. I assume the elves made it because there's flowers everywhere, right? Just blame the elves. So I'm not even looking at a map right now, so... Oh, a blue orc! Alright, well, we're strong enough to fight a blue orc. Ooh! A sword?! Excellent! I'm so glad. Do I do spriting tutorials? No, I'm not a very good spriter myself. I know I made those cool Final Fantasy 1 custom sprites, but that was the first project I ever did with spriting, and it was successful, but I'm certainly not the one to ask for a lot of help on that. I'm not really like a graphics guy. I like programming the code side of things more. Actual straight up Photoshop or bitmap stuff is not really my thing. Okay, I just want to see how much experience these guys give. I'm expecting like 16, so 32 experience. Assuming I got the kill. No. Dang it. Come on, hobbits, get out of the way. Try this again. I want to see how much experience the blue guys are worth. Alright, you guys go over there. Go away. Nope. Stop it. Stupid. Alright, please tell me I got that kill. Okay, so they're actually only worth 10 experience. So that means the green orcs are 8 and the blue orcs are 10, which means it's not even really worth, like, specifically fighting them. They're going to be a fair bit stronger. I don't know if they do a lot more damage, but they certainly have more HP than the green ones. And they're not really rewarding us with an amazing amount of experience. I was hoping they'd give us double a green orc, but no luck. So is that the only reason to go to this rock? Oh, holy smokes. No, that was not the only reason to come to this one. This cave is huge. Biggest single cave we've got, actually. Maybe we're gonna come back here. Yeah, maybe we should go to Rivendell first. Yeah. So I think we weren't actually supposed to come to this cave yet. In retrospect, this cave is sort of a secret that you have to hit with a rock, and I expect someone in Rivendell tells you to hit that rock. And I may have sequence broken a tiny bit by doing this first. So we'll just remember this place for later. I think the idea is that this cave takes you to the Trollshaws, which was the area left and up that had a locked door. So we couldn't get up there normally. This would be the way to get there otherwise. So yeah, we'll worry about that later. Let's just go to Rivendell. There's good stuff there anyway, right? Like, you guys know. Bilbo's hanging out in Rivendell. There's some stuff over there that we might want. Also, hello, Sunneef. I don't know. Let me just follow my map along here so I can keep track of things. This is a nice big open area with nothing in it, except maybe some monsters. Big, large, boring area, nothing. At least it's like a different map. It's not a repeat, but unfortunately there's nothing there. How's things? Things are alright. Still getting over my illness, but I'm feeling better, feeling stronger. I mean, I'm having some fun playing, you know, an old game that I've never beat. I still wouldn't say it's a great game, but I'm having some fun. It's always nice hanging out with the chat for a bit. I tend to feel bad when I go for a long stretch with no streams, because I'm trying to stay somewhat regular with these things, but it's tough. The forces of Mordor are near. I can't let anyone into Rivendell unless they're on official business. Pretty sure Aragorn is official business. You subscribe for something. A lot of people subscribe for Might and Magic or Final Fantasy. I do a lot of RPGs and stuff, but yeah, I mean, I've been Let's Playing for quite a few years. It's hard to say. Official business. Is that the letter, I guess, maybe? I see you need to meet with Elrond. I'll take the letter and give it to him. You can just speak to him yourself. Thanks, dude. I wanted to give the letter myself. Alright, welcome to Rivendell. It doesn't look quite as nice as you might have imagined. Gildor Inglorian. So Legolas is in the Trollshaws. Don't worry about him, though. He'll be fine. There's the little entrance. That's the little secret entrance. Giant rock. You just have to hit the rock with the sword and then go through the caves. Yeah. So I did jump over that a little bit accidentally. Do I do programming tutorials? No, not really. Not sure how I would format something like that. It's not the worst idea, but I would probably want to have a separate channel for something like that. Hey, it's Boromir! Sorry, I'm unable to accompany you, but have a horn. It has the power to bring fear to the hearts of your enemies. So, yeah, Boromir doesn't actually join in this game. It's so true to the... It was so true to the book, the lore, that Boromir just sits in Rivendell and does nothing. By the way, Frodo, good to see you. Here, have some things. Have a diary. And have a dagger. And have some mithril armor. So, that's probably like the main reason to come here, is to get Frodo all stacked up. There you go. 44 strength, 44 defense. He is stronger than Aragorn. And now you can't control him manually anymore. Now you're stuck running as Aragorn, of course. It's hilarious. But yeah, they made those weapons super overpowered. Like Sting and the Mithril Armor. That stuff adds, was it 32 strength and defense? It's crazy. So yeah, Frodo's nigh invincible at this point. And yeah, Boromir just standing there waiting to take an arrow and die. Can I not go in there? Like, we actually can't talk to Elrond right now. We have to go rescue Legolas from the Trollshaws. I think that was kind of the hint. You talk to whatever this guy's name is, he's like, you should probably go find Legolas in the Trollshaws before you can talk to Elrond and Gandalf. Let's see if there's anything to the south. Oh yeah, there's something to the south, that's for sure. Do I need to go down this way, right? Like, this is the way, this is the progression direction again. But I have a feeling at this point we should go back. Maybe. Yeah, this way leads pretty directly to Moria, which we can't get into now anyway. But maybe we could pick up another friend. I haven't streamed in ages. Yeah, I've been sick. So sick. Shining Force, there you go. Hey look, it's a dwarf. I've heard rumor that you're going to Moria. I would like to join you. So now we got an axe guy, basically. I don't know if you need to recruit him at this exact second, but hey, why not? So how does Gimli look? We didn't get Boromir, but we got a dwarf. So level 10, he's got an axe. He does a ton of damage. Him and his axe. You got his axe. I guess he never tried to hit the ring with it and broke it, so you know, it's not like the movies. But yeah, same armor as pretty much everybody else for now. Only level 10, so a little bit weaker, but you know, he does a lot of damage, so he'll get kills. Our party grows ever stronger. Alright, so I believe our next plan will be, Trollshaws. Which do I prefer between Shining Force and Fire Emblem? So, although they're both strategy RPGs, I don't really group them in the same category. Shining Force, especially Shining Force 2, is my favorite game on the Sega Genesis. No doubt. And it's probably a top 5 game for that generation, Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. Might not beat out Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger, but it's right up there. It's not too far behind. So it's a great game. I think Fire Emblem fills a different niche. The Shining Force games, although they're strategy RPGs, they are... Oh, I missed the rock. No, I didn't miss the rock. One more left. The Shining Force games are definitely more casual. They're kind of friendly pick-up-and-play games. You don't really need to think a whole lot, generally. There is strategy. Like, I'm not trying to dumb it down too much, but generally you can just sit there and run through. If a character dies, there's no permadeath. You know, you just have some fun. The Fire Emblem games are more when you want a, let's say, adult strategy game where you have to really plan your moves out carefully. So it's really hard to say if I have a preference. Like, they fill different different desires. I'm going to end the episode for future tubers here because this is a giant cave and it's a reasonable split point. So if you're in the future, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.